Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, listen, I done got through the first 2, 3 parts of the young lady on TikTok story, and I don't know if I'm getting to 50. She old story. Tell her, boy. You hear me? Listen, she need to write a book. I need to write one of these books because I'm reading this here fiction book, and that's how they do all the little details, man. Listen, she need to write a book. That'll be a good book, though. Go on, knock it out. But I'm gonna tell you, it's not. So a lot of y'all ask me, Tony, give your feedback on this. Y'all just want somebody to talk about it because it's not really nothing to say. To be honest with you, it's nothing to say because here's the thing: change two things. You change a couple things, and that story never happened. You change a couple things, and the story never happens. The first thing you change is don't online date. The story never happens. The story never happened. I tell y'all all the time, there are no good men online dating. I do not care about your cousin husband, your friend husband. Like I said, there are no good men online dating. And what that means is 99.99% out of 100 of the men that are online dating are losers. That 0.01%, you probably never meet him. Or he already is off of there because he done got on there and got married. That's it. So you change that right there, and this story never happened. The second thing you change is her being desperate. Her being desperate, you change that story and it never happens. Just like that. Now, another thing that I done picked up on, and I'm gonna have to do me a series then. How she doing the series? I'm gonna have to do a series because I can't listen to all that and put all that in one video. But the other thing that you change is letting a man move in with you. Yeah, you finna quarantine your butt in your house, in your little studio, and I'm gonna quarantine over here my 3-bedroom that I done bought. So that's another thing. Don't ever let a man live off you. If you want to live together, if you choose to live together, you need to be comfortable with how he living. Don't ever put a man on in this day and time. It's a new day. Don't ever put a man on. Don't buy him no car. Don't let him live off of you or none of that. Because see, here's the thing. We could get money a million different ways. We could do fraud. We could scam. But to have a name, to get a lease or to get a mortgage or to get stuff in your name, you have had to take care of your name. And when you cannot do that, that's automatically right there going to be a red flag unless there are extenuating circumstances that can be clearly and easily explained. So that's another thing. She let the man move in with her. Another mistake that I try to tell y'all you got to be careful about because this always is going to be. So mistake number 4. It does not make sense to buy a house when you are a single woman and you desire to be married. It makes absolutely no sense because you're setting yourself up to be prey for a narcissist bum. Because y'all like to use the word narcissist, but that's the type of man. You setting yourself up to be prey for a bum. You also making your life harder because a real man not gonna want to live off of you and live off the house that you done bought. So he gonna want to get his own house like this guy was faking he wanted to do. But he really was thinking like, let me see if I can stretch her to this $780K and get her to get it. Honestly, he really wanted to see how far her desperation was going. He was never intending to buy no house. And of course, he couldn't afford no house. He wanted to see if the desperation level she had already shown of agreeing to let him move in with her, he wanted to see just how desperate she was. That was just a little test. That was just a little test. And she ain't know nothing about no arena football. You get paid in peanut butter and jelly sandwich to play arena football. So I said that's another thing, another lesson. Anything a man tell you, Google it. Google it. When she seen, if she would have Googled this man's name and looked up his arena football career, for one, she would have seen arena football don't make no money. She would have seen that it's bartenders and waitresses make more than arena football players. Now you're gonna have a couple of them out there that 100K, 80K, maybe. Them boys out there, they got to work a whole nother job. That's why he told a lot, talking about he used to work at Apple in the off season. Yeah, you got to work another job. I mean, he invested his money wisely. You didn't have no money to invest. You could barely buy toilet tissue and grocery. So this is another thing that you got to use Google. Google everything. Background checks, Google everything in this day and age. So that's another little issue right there. It was one more thing in this first 2-3 parts I done seen. Oh, you got to get where you want to be in your body. When we are not where we want to be, we attract the wrong type of people. And I'm going to tell y'all this, and this is hard to say. This is hard to say. This is hard to hear. Now, if she was the size that she is, now, if she was not this size, which she ain't said nothing to that likes, and this relationship could have had her put on a little bit of meat on her bones. But I'm going to tell y'all, to every man and woman that's under the sound of my voice, listen to me. We're not conditioned and programmed in our society and in our beauty constructs to be attracted to certain body types. Yes, we see all body types get married, but we don't know the reasoning behind the attraction or the marriage. But one thing I'm going to tell you from a male perspective, which is hard to say and hard to hear, you really are not going to find a man that is heterosexual and that can be trusted, that will be attracted to a woman if she is not where she needs to be in her body. It does not mean your body have to be perfect. It don't mean you have to be built like J-Lo. Not saying that. But when you are beyond, and especially if you far beyond your body goals, or if based on the BMI, the body mass index, unless you have a special circumstance where like certain people could do the body mass index and be seen as overweight or be seen as obese because of their weight and their height, but they could be solid muscle. So there's guys that I know that is 220 pounds, all muscle, and 5'8". So just that weight with that height, it's gonna say obese, but muscle weighs more than fat. And so there's certain situations like that. And this just me being your brother in Christ and just telling you the truth. Don't look to date until you about 80% of where you want to be. Don't look to date, because we attract what we are, not what we want. So it's that level of man, which what y'all call, I don't use this term, but I use it for the how people use low vibrational. When you not where you need to be mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, you're going to attract a lower quality of a person. And that's what you have to realize. Let me tell you, why do you think this man who is an absolute liar, everything, psychopath, sociopath, narcissist, all the clinical terms y'all want to use on him, and the men like him, why do you think he went after a woman who is still in her journey and on her process of getting to where she want to be in her health journey and getting her body to the point that she know that she need to be at, or that she can be at? And even if she can't be there, let's say it's a health issue, why do you think he went after her versus going after a woman with a 6-pack of abs and a perfectly round butt that he approached at the bar or at somewhere? Here's why. Because when a man sees a woman who her body is not where it needs to be, he assumes that she is desperate and that she is lonely and that she is mistreated, overlooked, and unloved. Now, with that assumption, sometimes a man is sadly mistaken, because a woman could be not where she want to be in one of the areas, emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually, or whatever, and she still has the wherewithal to check him and to put him in his place and say, listen, you trying me. You trying me. I know I ain't all of that. I know I ain't this and that. I know I ain't where I'm gonna be, but you trying me like a baser. You need to get out my face with that, because no. And so that happens sometimes, but guess what? It's like 10% of the time. It's way more rare. Majority of the time, when a man, and I tried to tell one of my clients this, I said, listen, the man you dealing with, it's based on his look. This type of man, it is physically and utterly impossible for him to be physically attracted to you, because she was like 3 or 4 times his size. She probably was 3 times his weight. And I said, it's just not how looks compatibility works. It just, trust me on this. I get all kind of big. I get all kind of I get me. I get, look what I got over here. Look what I got over here. Look at this man. Look at that man. I said, listen to me now. You was a millionaire. You got houses. You got cars. You got businesses. These men want access to that. They know that if you sleeping with them, this man know if you sleeping with him, he's going to get perks. Don't mean you gonna carry him. Don't mean you gonna put him all the way on, but he going to get perks. So guess what? He getting to go around the country on her dime. Then he getting to go around the world on her dime. So just like, see, to some people, Vienna sausage is a filet mignon. What I mean by that is, this young lady say she live paycheck to paycheck, but a 3-bedroom house to a man who live in a studio apartment, that's a filet mignon. That's a Rolls Royce to his Toyota Tercel. She in a Rolls Royce Cullinan in that 3-bedroom house. So you have to understand that it don't mean that a man only wants you if you a millionaire, if you really rich, if you not where you supposed to be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever. No, it means you doing better than him, and you is a rung in the ladder. You a step stool. You a stepping stone, not no stumbling block. He a stumbling block for you, but you a stepping stone for him. So he finna come step on you. And what he trying to do, and with this little play, I'm about to go back to listen to it, and I'll do part 2. And with what he was trying to do. He wanted to get married and then see what the max she can afford on a new house. He wanted to get her to get a house. Watch that. It probably ain't turned out that way. I'm gonna listen to the mo, but that's what he was testing. That's what he was testing right there, to just see. Oh, let me see how much money she got. Let me see what. And she flipped it on him now. And then he had to make like he had money, invested his money wisely and all that. Cause then he realized, oh, she got that house, but she paycheck to paycheck. She ain't got it. So now he realized, okay, all right, let me see what other angle in here, and let me see, just I kick it in here and live a little bit. But, and he also was doing it, and that's why he was paying all the bills. He was doing all of that because when somebody trying to get you to drop your guards, they'll spend everything they got. Because you don't know, he could have been, and yeah, he's working that job. He's spending every dime he got. Could have had a little bit of savings, could have been doing a little bit of stealing, could have been doing a little bit of fraud, could have been doing a little bit, could have been borrowing from other women. He probably had him at the same time a 600-pound life woman that was shooting him $1,000 a month. And he sent her angling pictures and I love you notes and all of that. I'm going to keep listening to a little bit of story, each little part, if I more lessons I get, if it changed. But it's not that deep, y'all. It's not that deep. It's not that complicated. If you just remove one D, not the dang-a-lang, just remove one D, like she admitted to. Desperate. Desperation in love is a weak emotion, and it produces weak results. You never, ever, ever want to be desperate when you're looking for love. You want to be fully confident, whole and healthy. And when I say that, I don't mean 100%, because no one is ever 100%. But you want to be hanging around that 70 to 80%, fully healed, fully whole, fully healthy, and working diligently, making progress daily, moving towards your 100% that we may never fully attain, but it's that progress is better than anything. Hey, this Tony Gas. We'll pop back in now. As I get to listen to a little more of it, I'll share some more lessons from it. God bless you. We'll talk soon.